Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this Monday morning with Flow. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and weekend, and you have been giving some thoughts to the learnings and the actions that we have planned as of end of day 3. The dreams, the goals, the plans, the actions will all lead to the success that we achieve end of the day. My apologies, I have a bad throat, but that does not mean we will not be doing this session, because I want to leave behind some very, very important elements that you can implement in your business. We ended day 3 with something that is called self-empowerment. And this is something that I've spoken to people in the past. I've done it in the seminars, I've done it in webinars, I do it with the clients, that there is only one situation that 97% is less than 3%. I know this is a shocking mathematics, but there is a situation where 97% is less than 3%. The reality is that 97% of the world's population live and die a life of mediocrity. It's only 3% of the world's population who have abundance of time, abundance of money, abundance of relationships, abundance of satisfaction. For the rest 97%, it is like the treadmill. You get onto the treadmill, you run, and then you end of the day, you get off from the treadmill and say, I have not achieved or not made any progress. What is the primary difference between that 97% and the 3%? The primary difference is the ability of self-empowerment. Self-empowerment means making a conscious decision to take charge of our destiny. We are all here for a purpose. The good old Almighty out there, the power that whatever you may follow, I'm not getting into the religious conversations, but the fact of the matter is all of us have come into this world for a purpose. Now we have two choices. One, find that purpose and live that life of purpose, or forget that purpose and live a life of mediocrity. So self-empowerment involves making positive choices, taking actions, and being confident of your ability to make and execute decisions. I was doing a seminar the other day on Wednesday in Silvassa for a large global organization, and I said that even if one of your 10 decisions turn out to be wrong, you are on your way to greatness. The problem is we do not know which decision. The problem is that we refrain from taking decisions because we do not know which decision is going to turn out right. So self-empowered people who have been successful, understand their strengths and weaknesses, and they're motivated, in fact, to learn and achieve. Now, all of us, including me, at some point in time, many of us, not all of us, many of us at some point in time have been laid off. I have been laid off a couple of times. Right? One, when I didn't want to relocate into a different city, and for a different reason, which I'm not getting into. But I have been laid off. It's not that success comes easy. Now, if somebody is laid off, you can be passive in your job search and wait for a recruiter to find you on LinkedIn. Or you can take proactive steps towards finding a better job. You could contact past employees, you can start networking, you can research opportunities, you can update your marketable skills, you can revamp on your resume, you can do multiple things. Self-empowerment allows individuals to recognize that they have the power to make the choices. This is a very, very critical element, that we have the power. We have the power to stop doing what we are doing today and start doing something else. We have the power to identify what is working for us and what is not working for us. Self-empowerment does not mean I follow somebody else blindly without having a direction in your life. It's like the good old saying, if you do not have a plan, you're always part of somebody else's plan. And that person is going to leverage your skill sets into fulfilling their plans. So today I have some tips how to develop self-empowerment. The first is positive attitude. If you remember, and if you can go back into my YouTube channels, you will see a video. Be positive is not only a blood group. Development of a positive attitude is very, very critical. People who believe they can control the destinies. Yes, there will be falls. Yes, we will fall down. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be failures. But my belief that I can control my destiny rather than giving external concepts like fate, luck, circumstances are more likely to take charge of the future. Not that everything is going to be hunky-dory. Whenever I take actions to fulfill my destiny, I will fall. You will fall. So be ready to fall. I'm sure you're watching the Commonwealth Games. Look at the pain that people go through to achieve because they believe it is their destiny. And I'm not comparing, but yesterday, one lady transformed Indian hockey, and that lady's name is 𝗀𝗸𝗀𝗶 Punia. We may not have heard of this lady, at least I didn't hear of her till about yesterday. But the way she stood tall in front of the goal when there was a shootout, you could see that she wants to control the destiny. The gentleman who won the triple jump, you could see that this gentleman wants to control the destiny. The javelin thrower, the weightlifter, Miss Nikhat, who comes with a huge amount of burden that she has to win, but she wins. Because we believe that we are here to control our destiny. There was this gentleman from Zambia who from nowhere came up and won the 400 meters. Nowhere. And by about 150 meters, he was about 25 meters away. But the kind of resolve that he brought in and said, I will win. Under whatever circumstances, even if it means walking over my dead body, is what you need to decide. That positive attitude, that there's nothing impossible on this planet. The second, set goals, set reasonable goals. You wake up today and you say, I want to run a marathon. You're no way going to run that 26 miles. But you can today decide that I will run 1 mile. And in the next 10 days, I will run 10 miles. And in the next 1 month, I will run 15 miles. And in the next 6 months, I will run the 26 miles. So have the small, achievable goals, but stick to it. Stick to those goals and they will fall in place. So set your reasonable goals. Your goal cannot be, I want to run a marathon. Now break it down. Break it down into actionables. So when we talk to our clients, we say, what is your 2025 business plan? Now let's work backwards about what you would want to achieve in, say, 24 and then 23 and even in 22, 23. What are the quarterly goals that you would want to achieve? Third, very, very important, is surround yourself with positivity. Laughter is contagious and so is pessimism and negativity. Surround yourself with like-minded, motivated people who can feel you empowered. We will always be surrounded by people who can tell us or who will tell us that you can't achieve this. But find those people, and they can be a minuscule amount of the people that you know around you, that these are the people that you could bank upon. They will tell you that you can be successful. If your self-esteem takes a blow, schedule time with your positive friends, peers, family members. Experiencing that positivity to improve your mental well-being, minimize your negativity, and empower you to follow your dreams. Fourth, again very critical, self-care. Practice self-care. Self-care includes any activity that you do for yourself to feel happy and healthy. It could be just eating, it could be going to the gym, it could be going for a spa treatment. Indulge. Indulgence is important. You're running a business to fulfill personal goals. Never ever forget that. And at some point in time, we stop indulging in ourselves, and that leads to unhappiness. Scheduling time to relax, rejuvenation, going out for a movie, going out on a solo trip, could be anything. Every one of us work differently. But practice self-care. Fifth, use positive self-talk. And I mentioned this to the seminar that I was running in Silvassa last week. Look at yourself and be conscious. What are the self-talk that you're having with yourself when you, one, go to bed, second, when you are about to wake up, and third, most importantly, when you're sitting on the pot in your bathroom, in your toilet? What is that self-talk? To live a self-empowered life, focus on what you can do rather than focus on what you can't. For example, if you want a promotion that requires fluency in English, try saying to yourself, I don't speak English, to I don't speak English yet, I can learn. Practicing self-affirmations, displaying confidence in your ability will help you achieve your goals. Then comes one of the critical elements where a lot of Indians, and this is a very American trait which I respect, but a lot of Indians fall flat, and that is being assertiveness. People who strive towards personal empowerment must be comfortable expressing their thoughts, ideas, and needs. If you're invited for a party and if you can't go, don't tell them, I will come, but don't go. If you're invited for a party, office gathering, whatever, but if you have an important presentation to prepare, a client meeting to prepare, you can always stand up and say, I'm sorry, I can't go. Or you can tell the host, I will come, but I will leave early. So there's no ambiguity. Or if you and your colleague are collaborating on a project, but you are doing most of the work, don't feel guilty about addressing the situation head on and asking them to do their share. I've seen so many people come up to me and complain that my colleagues are not doing it, my XYZ is not doing it, and so on and so forth. Why? Because they have lacked the assertiveness to go out and address the real situation. Finally, create an action list. Empowered people take action. And I keep on saying this. Learning is fantastic, but results don't come out of learning. There's a step in between that is called action. And there's something that is called growth mindset. I run psychometric assessments on fixed and growth mindset. And at any point in time, you would want me to run an assessment for you, please let me know. They understand that success don't come overnight, but it's a culmination of decisions and actions. If you want to go from point A, whatever your revenue from between now and say 31st March 2024, you need to list that actions you will need to take to achieve that goal. You will need to look at financial options. You may need to raise money through debt or equity. You may need to look at actions in team. You may need to look at systems and processes. You may need to look at how do you do the client mapping. You could do multiple things. What's the kind of programs that you're going to run? It is the most important element that when we feel self-empowered, we should be responsible for what we ask for and what we don't. Remember last time when we spoke about your mindset, the self-talk, what are we asking ourselves? Remember the 𝗀𝗶𝗵𝗶 story. The most defining words in English, ladies and gentlemen, is the words I am. So when you see the structure of human beings, we are like an iceberg, and this is called the identity shift, which we'll talk about at length in one of our future sessions. But that iceberg is very critical. What we see about an individual, what we see about ourselves is only a small fraction of the complete self. Above the surface, we only see behavior. What we see are decisions and actions. But decisions and actions are, if you look at any iceberg, you will see only probably 10-15% above the surface. What holds below the surface will finally determine the decisions or the actions that you take. Below the surfaces are skills. Just below the surface are skills. The skills are the biggest determinant of how we make decisions and what actions we take. I want to be good in sales is a behavior pattern. I can tomorrow start going out into the market and start talking to people. But then over time, if I don't have the skill sets to go out and sell, I will give up. So your behavior change could be that you would want to go out and sell in the marketplace, but this will not be sustainable if you don't have the skill sets. This will not lead to long-term change. So your behavioral change can happen only if you acquire the skill sets. The skill sets come in from beliefs. If you fail in selling, ask yourself, how many times have you tried, and what are the learnings that you have had from your training sessions? I ask my clients, they say my sales team doesn't perform. I say, fantastic. How many times have you run sales training program? He says, what is the use of running sales training program? People will learn and go. So my belief system as an entrepreneur or as a sales manager is that I don't need to train. People will automatically come and start delivering. So my behavior pattern is that I don't need to train people to sell. Now, if I don't train people how to sell, then the skill sets are not getting developed, and the skill sets are not getting reflected in the behaviors, because I may push that person out into the field, and that person will try for 2-3 days and then come back and fail and not achieve his goals, and we will say that the person has failed. Ladies and gentlemen, the person has not failed. Our belief systems are failing us. That is the most critical thing. It can actually become a predictive tool for outcomes. And below the skills, below the beliefs are the values. What is the value that I'm looking for? And as you have hired a salesperson, and for him the value is acceptance. Now, if his value is acceptance, he will go out and sell, but he will struggle to ask for an order or close an order because he feels that he will lose that acceptance. On the other hand, there is a salesperson whom you have hired for whom the value system is success under any costs. For him, it doesn't matter whether people love him or like him, he is out there to close a sale. That is the value. So when you're running value propositions, when you're checking for people, do some psychometric assessments. DISC is one of the fantastic elements for doing psychometrics, to see what are the value systems, what drives people towards success, or does people get attached only to acceptance. If you're hiring a salesperson who's only looking at acceptance, he will never be able to go out and sell, because for him the value system is not success. And what happens between all of this is the water, like any iceberg, and for us that water is the social environment. Is that social environment? What is that social environment around me? What is the kind of environment that I've got up in, or been brought up in? What's the kind of social environment that I'm today living in? You need, if you want to change any of these, you need to relook at your social environment and ask yourself, what is that identity shift that I need to make? Do I need a change of place where I'm staying? Do I need a change of people that I'm aligning with? Do I need a change in the kind of work that I'm doing? Do I need a change in the kind of the verbose communication that I'm having? So start identifying elements in your environment that you need to change. It could be people, offices, anything. Because without changing that environment, you will never be able to shift your identity. And success will come in only when your subconscious mind, which is that iceberg below the surface, that starts changing. But if you are in that environment which you are in, you cannot change the belief systems, the values, the belief systems, the skill sets. We will, in one of our courses, help you build that value system, help you build your, evaluate your identity iceberg. So keep watching. Because if you want to do something, if you want to achieve something different, what you have not achieved in the past, your actions will have to be very, very different. You cannot keep on taking the same actions and achieve a different set of results. Go back to the B times do is equal to have, that B needs to change. And that is the identity shift that we need to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the only way you can fail in this world, which is huge amount of opportunities, is by not doing anything. And by not doing anything, you run the risk of remaining a mediocre person. Thank you so much for watching on this Monday morning. Till next Monday, same place, same time, with episode 5 on transformation of business and life. A very good morning and a great week ahead and a profitable week ahead. For anything that you would want from us, write into us, and we will be responding to you. Somebody from my team will be responding to you. Thank you so much and have a great morning.